It's going to show us how we can repurpose our Easter plants.
Yes.
Right?
Well, Easter, just like Christmas, when you get all the poinsettias and you don't know what to do with them and they end up on your porch and they die.
Yeah.
We don't want that happening to your spring flowers, right?
What are the popular flowers?
Most popular is the Bermuda or the Bermuda lily, which is kind of called the Nelly White. Did you know that northern coast of California and Oregon produce 95% of these lilies in the country?
I didn't know that.
Really?
How do you like that?
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
We're number one at something.
finally it's something. And of course you have the fabulous tulips. And how many of you have landed in New York in the springtime and gone down the avenue and seen the tulips? And then you have the narcissus or the daffodil, and then the calla lilies, which Katharine Hepburn made so famous. Wow. So these are the most popular spring.
Christina does the line very well.
Does she?
Give it a try?
Oh, the calla lilies are in bloom.
There you go.
How do you like that? When you receive these as gifts and you keep them in your home for a little while, the first thing I strongly recommend is remove the foil, because the foil captures the water when you water the plant and you will drown the plant. These plants like to have dry soil to the touch, so don't get so crazy. Woo!
You want
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. You want these in filtered sunlight, not direct sunlight, and don't put them near your furnace or any direct heat, because that'll be very damaging for your plant.
What's the care with people for that? What's the care for these inside? Because you mentioned in and out. And
what you want to do is, for example, with your Bermuda lily, the first thing you want to do, because the anthems, which are the pollen pads, pods, you want to cut them.
Why do we do that?
Because it keeps it from staining your hands and your home, and it doesn't damage the flower at all. And that's one way to elongate or extend the blooming period for this this plant. That's correct.
How do they figure that out?
How they figure it out? You know, it takes centuries to figure that out.
No, but seriously.
And with as with the tulips and the calla lily, just make sure keep the soil dry to the touch and keep them out direct.
But you don't take this out of the middle.
No,
of the
no.
That's
you don't
the beautiful part.
Very meaty, very sturdy.
It's very sturdy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
I like
plant,
that.
and they all do well when you're done with them inside. They have a second life outside.
But wait, you hold it, time out.
Yes.
You said you want to keep these non-direct sun. You go outside, you got a problem.
You can place them in filtered shade, in indirect light outside.
Okay.
In olive perfect
so they can take a little bit of direct, but not much?
Yes, they like a little. In fact, Kevin, you're going to help me with this.
I am?
Here's the calla lily, and I'm going to go right behind you.
There you go.
Right.
Here's a perfect location for a calla lily because it has shade, sun, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to take this calla lily out of the pot.
I just like to say calla lily.
Calla lily.
Voila. What you want to do is you want to tickle the base.
Tickle, tickle.
Tickle, tickle. Now
you can tell it a joke too. That'll make it.
The predetermined hole here.
Why do you? By the way, I always just real quick. Do you cut? Can you cut them, or do you?
No.
Do you score
you don't
that?
Want to cut them because this is all very important. The plant is taking care of itself. So this is, you want to keep all that intact. You want to loosen any loose soil.
That would
you want to put
explain
it
a
in
lot.
the hole that you prepared. And Kevin, I want you to take that shovel and I want you to fill in that hole.
I have another question too. Gosh, so many of them, they're coming rapidly now. How deep do you put it in? Do you want to?
You put it in, if the pot is 6 inches, you want to put it lower than the 6 inches.
So lower than,
yes,
so not
correct.
to keep it out.
And wider than the 6 inches. So
Okay.
you want to give it room to grow. Now, after he's done that, which is absolutely perfect, when the weather starts getting cold, that's why you have the mulch. And you put the mulch around it because that keeps the moisture in and the warmth in.
Would you water first, fertilizer before you do the?
After you've planted it, you drench it, you put a little fertilizer in it.
Okay.
And then once the weather begins to get a little colder, you put mulch on top of it.
Okay.
No, I used to landscape.
Oh,
Did you
then
really?
you're perfect.
During
You're
my college
absolutely
years,
perfect.
I did landscaping.
Oh wow.
I'm not an expert, but I was big. I did what I was told.
Sure.
And I'm going to tell you what to do.
Okay.
Another repurposing of your fabulous plant is, let's imagine that the blooms are gone, okay? So now what you want to do is, I'm sorry plant, but you want to cut off the stalks. You see what I'm doing? You cut off the stalks. Imagine that this can be planted in the yard in the same area, and when fall comes, when the blooming season is over, because these bloom from winter to summer, when it starts to get colder, you get even lower.
Lower with it.
So I can do this even in the home state of Minnesota that I grew up in.
That's
You
right.
can do this.
Exactly.
Because it gets cold.
Because it gets very cold.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh, I don't know, recently.
And this is what it looks like in the soil. Okay?
And it
Like
just
a
goes into
bulb.
hibernation mode.
I want to show you what you can do.
All right.
This is this. This is this. This is this. This is a bulb. You want to take a pot or the soil. You want to dig a hole 6 inches deep.
From the top of the pot or from the top of the soil?
From the top of the plant.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
See it? Here's the stalk.
Yep.
Here are the roots. You dig a hole deep enough to bury the roots and the stalk. I'll give you a little angle there. You see that?
Yep. Yep.
You want to put mulch on top to keep the moisture in and the cold out. Okay?
Insulation there.
You do not water. This is not the growing season for this plant. This plant now will be in dormant. It's dormant now. Okay, this is after the blooming season. This is after the stalks start to die off, and you can plant this in your yard in a covered area, not too much direct sunlight, not too cold. And when the season begins, when the growing season begins, you're going to see a greener stalk coming out, and you're going to have a bloom within the bloom.
All of Home and Family needs to have her back in the fall to remind people.
Well, no, because she's very busy. She's
Yes,
got
I'm
about
very
700
busy.
shows she's doing. Tell us a couple real quick. You got.
Oh my gosh.
TNTs.
Okay, I have TNT Murder in the First with Tay Diggs. It's a
It's on
great
TNT,
police
that
cut.
is.
It starts in June. And then I did something called Chasing Life for ABC Family. And then I have a movie coming out called Knock 'em Dead. And then I have the Home Family.
You had this.
I
You
have
got this.
this. I
We
have
have
my
this. We have
family.
flowers. We have food. We have Kevin. We have it all.
But what do you do to keep busy?
I plan. just know that when you get these flowers, when you get these plants for Easter, don't throw them out. Love them, and they will love you back year after year after year. Don't throw them out.
Wonderful. I want to tell everybody, Murder in the First. It's premiering June 9th. It's still a little bit of ways.
Yeah, it's
but
a
we'll
little
have a
ways,
little party
yeah.
here for you.
Right, yeah.
10 o'clock Eastern and Pacific on TNT.